21 years after Harry Sifton started the Sifton Construction Company in London, Ontario, his son Mowbray came home from the Second World War having learned what it means to serve. The post-war boom years were about to hit, and Mowbray stressed service above all else as he began to turn his father's small house-building enterprise into a major development force responsible for several of southwestern Ontario's largest residential and commercial projects. Berkshire Village was to be the cornerstone of Mowbray's vision for residential rentals. He saw Berkshire as a complete community rather than just a series of rental properties. He wanted to build a community that resembled an English village, a place that people would call home. The idea of blending huge amounts of green space with rental units in an eye-pleasing pattern of varying sizes and shapes, while retaining extremely inviting curb appeal, was something new at the time. Adding to the mix a central clubhouse for the residents, along with high-rise apartments and a small commercial segment to provide space for things like doctors' and dentists' offices, Mowbray's concept of the future was far beyond what many were capable of visualizing.
The struggles that Mr. Sifton had to go through to introduce what at the time was a very radical form of housing. There were concerns at the time that it would turn into a slum. It would be a blight on the southwest end of the city. And if anything, it's just the complete opposite.
Always willing to err on the side of caution, Sifton concentrated its focus on its Oak Ridge Park subdivision to remove any lingering doubt by providing the council of the day with a highly successful preview of what was to come.
So we had to do a test project in Oak Ridge Park where we built about 24 townhouse units to show the city they could be attractive and they were not going to be low-priced housing that was going to attract problems for the city down the road.
When the lights had all turned green, it was time to put shovels in the ground, and Berkshire Village was on its way to becoming a reality. In 2007, the Federation of Rental Housing Providers of Ontario recognized Sifton's Berkshire Village as the best streetscape in Ontario, 44 years after Mowbray's vision of an English village was launched back in 1963. Berkshire Village was just a part of Mowbray Sifton's overall vision for neighborhoods in London. It started in 1949 with Braemar, London's first ever subdivision. In the ensuing years, Mowbray turned his attention to places like Oak Ridge Acres and Oak Ridge Park and the massive Westmount subdivision, a tract of land encompassing more than 1,000 acres of housing, a project that would take 35 years to complete. Westmount, with its shopping mall, schools, and churches, was right next door to cozy Berkshire Village. People who moved into the Berkshire Village neighborhood that Mowbray had envisioned enjoyed the comforts that fit the lifestyle they were looking for. Several of those residents are still there today. People like Rena Morphy, who has lived in Berkshire Village for 42 years.
We always liked it because there was lots of trees and lots of greenery and shrubs and planters, and it just didn't look like barren like some places did. And they weren't all row, you know, they were different on different angles. And like where I live, I've got quite a green space out behind me, more than if I had a house.
3 generations of the Sifton family have been involved in the growth and development of the family-run company, which is not only one of London's largest landlords, but also the city's oldest home builder. In 2001, the London Free Press wrote that Sifton Properties has had a hand in something like 1 of 4 houses built in the city since Harry Sifton started the company in 1923. Almost half a century after it was built, for the current president of Sifton, a drive through Berkshire Village is still a source of great pride and inspiration.
It's a real pleasure to drive through Berkshire Village and have the open space available for our clients, their families, their visitors, and especially the children who are growing up in a space that is open, has trees, has playgrounds, and rather enjoyable area. And for Dad to be able to see that going forward is quite incredible.
While the residential rentals in Berkshire Village offer more than 24 floor plans, along with a variety of facings and roof styles, The real key to the success of the neighborhood lies beyond the bricks and mortar. It's the unique relationship Sifton has maintained with its residents. For Elsie Farnham, who has lived in Berkshire for almost 40 years, it's simple. It's the service that Sifton provides.
I love the townhouse, the layout of the townhouse, and I really like the green space. But I think the most important thing is that I'm looking at the service that I get from all the people that work there. It doesn't matter whether it's the office or the crews or the service, the repairmen. They lots of times go above and beyond what they're supposed to do. And the other thing is they always know you by your name.
Several of the innovative concepts first rolled out in Berkshire Village would be included in additional rental properties Sifton would develop in London before branching out with new rental housing projects in Brantford and Guelph. Sifton Properties has been a proud member of the Federation of Rental Housing Providers of Ontario since 1989. For the London-based company that has grown from that little housing enterprise, innovation is a hallmark. This is perhaps best exemplified in the way the company cares about all of its customers. Many of those customers are the people who have lived in Berkshire Village for more than 25 years.
The Quarter Century Club actually was a huge surprise. What awed me the most was the fact that there were so many people that had lived there over 25 years. And I tell this story, probably 5, 6, 7 times a year about what Sifton did. And it's unheard of. They've never heard of a landlord paying tribute to his rental people.
The people of Berkshire Village are the heart and soul of the community. The way in which they care about each other reflects the way that Sifton cares about them. A social evening sees the members of the Quarter Century Club honored by Sifton with plaques of appreciation and a monetary gift to salute the tenant's longtime association with the landlord.
When I opened the checkup for one of the ladies who was there a long time because she couldn't see, I was dumbfounded. It was $1,000 that we got. So it's one of the first landlords that the only landlord that I ever know that paid you to live in his house.
Sifton has always prided itself in being ahead of the curve and recognizing what its customers are looking for in all of the housing products the company offers. From the time of the baby boom of the post-war years, Sifton has always kept its finger on the housing pulse. As the company approaches its 90th anniversary, the familiar Sifton brick is still the company's signature, proudly displayed on the thousands and thousands of rental housing properties and single-family homes the company has built in London and across southwestern Ontario. In more recent times, Sifton has addressed the growing need for seniors living with retirement community projects like Longworth and Richmond Woods in London, Erin Mills Lodge in Mississauga, and the soon-to-be-open West Hill in Waterloo. In 2002, Sifton opened Riverbend, a gated retirement community with an 18-hole championship golf course sculpted to blend with the mature-treed rolling countryside in northwest London. Situated alongside the Thames River and with its magnificent clubhouse featuring both dining and recreational facilities, Riverbend is well on its way to completion with almost 500 adult lifestyle villa and single-family homes. For almost 9 decades, this family-run company has never wavered in its commitment to service and dedication to the work ethic. In its earliest days, Mowbray and his children would spend their Saturdays on the job site. From those early lessons for his kids to the building of One London Place in the heart of downtown London, Mowbray Sifton has always been able to imagine what could be.
He was very good at imagining what could be and very handy at sketching it out physically on a piece of paper and sort of trying to get his idea across so that the architect or designer has an idea for the flavor he's trying to get to. He certainly taught me that innovation doesn't have to be complicated, that the two don't go together necessarily.
From the days of Harry and Mowbray Sifton's small house building company, Sifton has placed its mark on a large part of southwestern Ontario. For the people directly employed by Sifton, it has instilled in them a sense of pride and purpose.
Certainly in London here, to say you work for Sifton Properties is inevitably what you hear. I hear that's a great company, and it's true.
The housing products and the neighborhoods that grew from the mind of Mowbray Sifton have helped shape the lives and future of thousands and thousands of people. A man who has always taken great pride in his work, Mowbray Sifton is a skilled hands-on builder, a visionary, and someone willing to imagine the possibilities.